Go. Hello, guys. Welcome to another video. Welcome to another podcast. Today, I have Himanshu straight from India. Himanshu, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thanks, Mopicho. It's pleasure being here.
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
it's really a pleasure having you. I know you have a lot of things that you really want to tell us and just keep us informed. Yeah, you just introduce to us who you are and what you do, and like what you really want to tell us about your footballing career and everything. Just tell us.
Sure. So, hi, guys. Himanshu this side. In short, I have been a football coach for 3 years. Then, after COVID came in, so I realized why not try something else. So, I moved into management. So, from last 1.5 years, I am working in management with different startups in India. And rest, you guys would get to know more about me or the scenario as the show goes forward. Yes, Wapicho. Let's get started.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know. I have had now. You're like the third coach that we've had on the podcast, and it's really nice. We had a. I just forgot the name, but we had a guy also from India who's working. I think with the club in India. He's a goalkeeper coach,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, he was just telling us, and he was telling us how he's prepared for this upcoming season and everything, how life is being a coach. So yeah, I know you are dealing in sports management now. You're now away
Yes.
from the football coaching. So
Yes.
yes, you as a football manager, I know there are two big leagues in India, right? There is the
Yes.
IPL and there is the Super League.
Yes. IPL is for cricket, and for football, there is a Super League. Yes, correct.
Super League. But
Yes.
do you feel like maybe in the next 10 or 20 years, the Super League might be catching to the IPL?
So, according to me, it is bit difficult. Like, if where the work is done on the marketing of football in India, then it might be possible. Like, because there is a lot of sentimental value for the Indian population for cricket, especially after we won the World Cup, and like we have been the leader, one of the best in world. So it's difficult to change the perception of this big population in such short span. And also, like, we got across to the numbers, to the stats. IPL, the Premier League, is one of the, in it comes in top 10 uh, biggest leagues in the world. So it do makes a lot of money, and to come to that level, it will take a lot of time. So it all depends. If we get qualified to FIFA, I think then it would be a lot easier for the country to make it possible.
Yeah, I know it's going to take time, but football is like the world biggest game, and when you're comparing, even in the top three leagues, like it's really hard to see maybe like a football is it, last time I checked on the Forbes list, I didn't see a football league topping the three biggest leagues in the world, like in making money. So I think IPL is among the top three. I don't remember well, but I think IPL is there. But
Yes.
when you're comparing the Super League, the football league in India, do you see it competing with the like other leagues, maybe the league in Singapore, the league in Malaysia, the league Indonesia? Do you see the Super League competing with these leagues and maybe coming on top?
Okay. So to for any league, national league to come on top, there are few things that play the biggest roles. The first one and the biggest one is viewership. How many people are watching it? So if I talk about IPL for our country, it totals up to somewhere around 10 to 12% of the population. Like in a match, 10 to 12% population can be seen watching the match, and We are 1.4 billion population, and one even just 10% of it totals up to huge numbers, huge numbers. And when we compare it to the Super League, so the numbers falls down drastically. Like if I compare it in millions, it would be 0.1% or 0.2% of our population who watches football. And when we compare it to the leagues of Singapore or the leagues of the other country, Malaysia, let's say, so they already have small population, and a lot of people, like 50-60% of the people are watching this leagues. So they are getting a lot of exposure in their own country, even if this population is small. Even if we compare 0.1% of ours, it would be 5 to 10% of their population. I'm just taking the numbers, I am not sure about the exact numbers, but giving an example, like that countries, those countries are small countries, right? So if in any country this much of population, 40%, 50%, 60% people are watching that any sport, then all the brands in that particular country would be interested to go in that particular league. And if all the brands are willing to go in that league, they are ready to pay big numbers. And if you two would be agreeing on it, if the player is not getting enough paid enough in their life, they struggle a lot. They struggle a lot to make, to churn out the living, the to earn bread and butter for their family, right? It gets really difficult. So it, and also then second thing comes is the league structure. Here in India, ISL is played for, like, the season is like 3 months or 4 months, right? The season span is real short. And then when we compare it to the other countries, they have 8 months, 10 months of league going on. So
Okay, okay. Before like you continue, just wanted to ask you. I thought I thought that ISL like goes up to the Super League goes up to like around 8 to 9 months. ISL only goes for 3 months.
yes.
So how does it work really? Because like if it's 3 months, do they rest for 1 month or 2 months, then come back to the league, or like before we continue, can you just explain to us how the ISL works, please?
So how ISL works over here is, uh, there are a lot of matches that go on. So now it is being more structurized as compared to before. So teams play I League second division, then comes I League first division, then comes senior league. No, senior league, I League second division, I League first division, then comes ISL. So the structure is like that. So these matches that comes down, they also take a lot of time, right? And uh, also there are only 11 teams for now in ISL, right? And those 11 teams play with each other twice only. So each team plays 22 matches only. Oh, 20 matches only. And so if you see the structure of other leagues, how is it? On the weekends, each team gets to play a match. But over here, in I League, ISL, every day there would be one match only. One match, the next day you get one match, the next day you get one match. So if I talk about the general population, they get free on the weekends, right? Everyone is free on the weekends. And this is how it works for the other countries as well. Their main sport is football. Everyone is free on Sundays, Saturdays, and all the teams are playing on Saturdays and Sundays. So everyone can watch their team, their favorite teams playing on the day that they are free. But over here, it is like every day there is one match only. You get to see one match. Next day, you get to see one match. So the team is getting basically 20 matches in a span of 3 months. After that, all the foreign players go back. The national players stay and they train for their leagues. If we compare it to other big teams, they are getting 8 to 9 months of league, which is a huge number, right? So basically, I would say there's this difference which needs to be made up better, so that the league structure, the leagues needs to be structurized better. But how it be possible? It all boils down to one simple thing. They need viewership. If you get viewership, you get money rolling in. If you get money rolling in, you can get a lot of structure in place, infrastructure in place. You can hire better coaches. You can pay for their better diets. Although yes, they are getting good diet. I won't say they are not, but compared to other countries, they are not getting that much of salaries as compared to other countries, right? Like in other countries, they're superstars in their country. But over here, like I would say 20 to 30% would be there, the population, this big population. They won't be aware about the players who are playing, except a few players. Like right nowadays, everyone knows Sunil Chetri. But what about other players? That is one player. What about other players? So this marketing needs to be done right. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same.
yeah. You know, like before I just want to catch you there. I just want to add this. Like in every country, like I know India is not a like yet a footballing country, yeah. But this is the thing. Like in every national team in a country, like people will always know the first 11 players. They
Yes.
won't know one player. So I think that's also a major problem if the first 11 best players who have to play in every match are not known. It means that really football is not doing well in the country.
So it basically it is the problem that a lot of people are not watching it. A lot of people are not interested in it. But if like on the grassroots level there are, but the people who are interested, they are not getting enough infrastructure in place so that they can, you know, practice the game and then build their career in this sport, particular sport. They need that guidance over there. That is what we lack. Oh, if we talk about cricket, they have that guidance at every single level, to up to the grassroots level. They have that path structurized for them, and that is how they are able to pursue their careers in cricket as well. But in football, the scenario is a lot different. Although yes, nowadays we see a lot better players. We see like a female player of ours went out. Kalyan, no, not Kalyan, what's her name was, I forgot her name, but she went out to play in a European league, which was a big thing for us. Very few of players are now getting started to go in European countries and getting a chance to train there and play in their big leagues and getting the exposure what the world football feels like to play over there for continuously. You play for 8 months. The season lasts a lot longer. The trainings are a lot better. The infrastructure is better. So the changes are on the way, is what I would say.
Okay, then I also wanted to ask this. I know I don't know about this because I've seen a lot of Indian players playing in the English leagues. I've not seen any like there was one who was playing for Leicester before Leicester was relegated. Chaudhry, I don't know if you remember him.
Who?
Chaudhry.
So his
He,
origins are Indian, but he isn't born and brought up in India. No,
yeah, but
that guy is not Indian. Yes, his name is Chaudhary, but he's not Indian. Yes, I
but he has
remember.
an Indian name and everything. Okay, this is my question because I know there are also some African players like maybe Amal, Nico Williams, so on and so on, Kylian Mbappe and everything, who have the African descent, but they are not from Africa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they were born and raised there, but their fathers and their mothers maybe they're from Africa, and sometimes some of the players they come back and play for their national teams. So why don't we see that with the Indian players? Why don't we see them going back to India? Some of them going back there and playing for their national team.
So you must have seen like uh, there's this rule with European countries, like if your country is not ranked to a certain rank, in holds a certain rank up to like 50 or 60, I don't remember the exact number, because now it's been 3 4 years I am away from football. But yes, uh, I remember this because Sunil Chetri was not able to play, even being on that level. Was like there's this rule with European countries. I don't know if it is still there. Like if your country is not up to within top 60 in the world, you cannot play in the European leagues. There was something like this. Because of that, that guy didn't get the chance to play. Even if being on the top level, he's that good, still he didn't get the chance just because of this rule. I think now I would have to check on this number, this rule, if it is still there or not. But this was one reason, like one of our great bright talent didn't get the chance to play in European leagues.
When you say that, you also remind me of a player who's currently playing in the Indian League. Yeah, I think he's the top scorer the Indian
Okay.
League. I don't know if he retired or he's still playing, but I checked last year he was the top scorer. Yeah, and he's from Fiji, from the Samoa Islands, and
Okay.
he was denied a place in Europe because his team is down in the ranks of the
Okay.
FIFA. Yeah, he was denied the team in Europe, but he's a really good player. I've forgotten his name, but he's, I
Uh,
think, one of the best strikers. He came from Australia, then he
okay.
joined the Indian League, the ISL. Then he was really doing good. He has really been doing good. They even made a documentary about him some time back. But anyway, to continue, do you think this is just another thing, before we move to the sports management stuff? Do you think if the Indian government tries to do what the Chinese government has done in football, do you think that Indian football will grow and maybe become like be as the way the Chinese or
So,
maybe the Saudi government has done in football? Do you think if the Indian government also invests the way the Saudi government and the Chinese government has invested in football, football will grow and it will grow rapidly, like more than the way it is growing now?
so yes, if you get good investments, if we get good investment, big players, big companies who are ready to invest in our country, then definitely it boils down to the same number. So like it's bit off topic, like what you asked. But if you see, like currently Olympics are going on, right? And you see in most of the Olympics, USA gets the most medals. Why is that? Because they don't focus on one sport only, and also because of the schooling sports curriculum that they follow. From a very small age they get sponsored up, and they get one, though the guys, the players who get sponsored up, they get world class facilities, world class coaches from the very young age. You wouldn't see them playing the best of the football in the world, but you would see a lot of them getting best medals because of they are getting focused on the individual games as well. For example, athletics. Athletics is an individual game. You have to run for 400 meters. There is no team game in it, right? There is relay race, but other than that, if you see athletics, which consists of 50 to 60 games, they are getting lot of medals in that particular game as well. Then comes swimming, then comes archery, shooting. A lot of games are there, and they get equally invested in all the games. But this is not the same scenario with most of the countries. Why? Because they don't have that much of investments in the place for the sporting curriculums to be followed in the country. And also because if there is not much money, then comes the second thing, that is, do the association have that big money? The answer is not that big of funds with them as well. Again, the same thing, the viewership, because of the viewership it gets down.
Yeah, that's right. Viewership is what brings on the money. If there are more viewers, as mean companies, the people who are viewing will start paying. Companies will come to want to advertise with you people, and everything. So I know. Yeah, in Africa we have countries that are really doing better, but like me in Uganda, I'm in Uganda at the moment, and our footballing is really not doing well. Also, we are really struggling. We are really trying to come up, but it takes time. I know it will. It for us, it will really take a long time. But I have recently, I didn't know this, but there are some grassroots tournaments for the youth, for the teenagers that are always put in India. And there are some young guys who come from Uganda who go to play in India, and I saw some who recently came from that side, and they won the tournament, and it was really big. It was
Oh,
really big.
nice.
So so
Nice.
yeah, I know when we look at the league and everything, it's not, you say, and it's true. When you look at the league, it's not really doing well. But when you come to the grassroots football, you see that there is infrastructure that is really trying to be laid down. And I think in the next few years, there are going to be stars who are going to be coming out of these grassroots
Absolutely.
footballs, and they're
All
going
the
to yeah, and they're going to make a name for themselves on the international stage. But let's shift to football management. Like,
sure.
just tell us how it works and everything. How do you do football management? You as a person, how do you do football management?
Okay, so I'm not limited to football management now. I moved into sports management. So if so, like how what my first role was, I was working with the Sports Authority of India for an event. I volunteered over there. Over there, I learned about the dynamics, that the backstage dynamics, what shapes up the game. The game is not limited to what you get to see, the field, but a lot of things goes around it, right? There is media, there is sponsorship, there are operations, there are logistics, accommodation, housekeeping staff, then comes the management who have to take care, then there are, you need funds to run everything, you need to acquire a lot of things, you need to build a lot of infrastructure. So there is a lot of things that comes into play. So after that I got into a startup where I was technical head. So I was responsible for the communication with the stakeholders. Then I was responsible for hiring good coaches, then developing the curriculums. Though, so then I got to know, like, the game is output of a lot of effort that goes around it, a lot of efforts. And in the last role that I was there, I was working for a badminton company, helping them develop improve their venues, make generate revenues, tie ups with other brands. How can that be done? How can marketing help us? Or how can we sell more equipments? What, how to network with other people? So there is a lot of things that goes into play when it comes to management. And so I too wasn't aware about it till I got in that, in this course. This, I feel very thankful, grateful for this opportunity by my college, because we got one of the best faculties in India, at least. Like, we got faculties who have worked with Olympics, who have worked with FIFA, who are currently working with Paralympics, who have starting something of their own in sports industry. So I am really thankful for that, which gave me a lot of exposure how it works in other countries, in other sports systems, in across nations.
That's really nice. That's really nice. And can you just tell us, like, your experience when you're working with FIFA? How was it?
No, I didn't work with FIFA. No, I did not work with FIFA. But some of our faculty or the teachers, we got teachers who are working with FIFA, with Olympics. I was telling that about that. Our professors.
Okay, 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 no
Yes.
problem. But
I hope one day, I'll get to work with FIFA.
yeah,
That's
you
my
already,
dream.
yeah,
That's my
you but
dream.
yeah, inshallah, you're already in the system. So I bet one day you're going to be working with FIFA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Long way to go though. Still, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, but you're already in the field, so I know everything. Do you do any sports management work also with the agents of the athlete, or you just your work is more broader. Do you also work with the agents of the people who are representing these athletes?
No, my work hasn't. My work has been more into operations, the day-to-day operations, how academies work, how academies would work, what are the challenges that they are facing on regular basis, get them resolved, and what how can they basically how can a business generate more revenues is what I have been working on from last 1.5 years across last three of my roles is what I would say. And currently, the organization that I have tied up with. So over here, I am more into developing a business plan which can become sustainable so that the organization can grow. And this organization goal is Vision 2036. We focus on Olympics. So what we want to do is develop more and more academies and try to get acquire as many or run as many academies across the state, then cover the nation, so that even if we get two or three Olympians by the time we come to 2036, 12 years from now, our mission is done. Because to make two or three Olympians, you there's a lot that goes into play. You must have seen pyramid, right? So the base is really big, and the summit is like a point. So this would show the summit, or you can say the tip of the iceberg, right? So to get one or two Olympics, to produce one or two Olympics, you need to produce infrastructure, give them direction for such long years, such long time. So this is what our mission is, and working towards it. And I hope it will come true by 2036.
Yeah, yeah, we know that it's possible. There's nothing impossible. Everything is possible if you put in hard work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just to inform you, like today, one of our Olympians made history for India. So there's this girl who is into shooting, Manu Burai, or what's her name? Let me check her full name. It's a bit difficult for me to pronounce. It's Manu Manu. Where is she? Let me check. Manu Bhaker. So she is the first Indian athlete for India to ever get two medals in same Olympics. And there are very few Olympians who get to do that. So this is a big achievement for the country as a whole. And she still has two more categories to play, and we hope that she gets her third one so that she can create history across the world. So yes, so these little things shows us are the signs that the scenario in India is improving across different sports and different sports scenarios.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There is a lot of things. I know you, as the sports management, I know you really feel proud to see
Absolutely.
something like that happening. And when you're preparing for 12 years from now for the Olympics, it just shows you that there is something going on. Even to the people outside, it shows that, hey, there is something that we are really trying to push, and it's happening. So I think from 12 years from now, we are going to see athletes that are competing in the Olympics or anywhere else from India, and they are winning. They are not
Absolutely.
just participating in the sport, but they are really trying to push the boundaries and win the
Mhm.
title. So congratulations, bro.
Thank
That's
you.
really awesome. Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing, I know you are in the operations. Do you also work with the broadcasting and streaming?
So I haven't yet got that chance. Like in that volunteership, I was responsible for the local media to share the content that all happened across that particular event with the local media, but not. a full time into operations, into broadcast and media. So I hope one day I'll get that as well. I hope. But
Oh,
my expertise are more into operations management, business development, and talent acquisition. This is what I work around, and I still am exploring what expertise can I provide to any entity. I still am exploring my path.
okay, but you're in the talent acquisition, so you look, you know which talent to bring on the team, who can
Yes,
make a bigger impact, right? Can you
absolutely.
just can you just tell us the process how it all goes down?
So basically, with talent acquisition, not in the performing sport, but for the staff, like hiring the staff, getting them
Okay,
onboarded, who would be
okay,
the right
okay.
guy. So a lot big problem that the industry had been facing is on the very top in any organization, in any association, the people who are making the decision for the development, they don't have they didn't used to have sporting background, but they are making decision for the sports. So that challenge is being resolved by introducing more and more sports professionals in the country, and the colleges are helping us with that, like introducing more and more sports management programs. So if I reflect back 5 to 6 years ago, there were not many colleges who were providing education or academics around sports management, particularly about sports. How can the business side of sports be developed? But now there are few colleges, and people are more aware about it, especially after COVID. People realized like your health is really important. Your kids needs to play. You need to stay active for a healthy lifestyle, so that you can be there for your kids in the longer run. So that made people realize like your kids should be active, they should be participating in some sports. And also because of now we are betting into Olympics, hosting Olympics. So these all factors, these small different factors are shaping the industry up. This has been a lot unorganized sector, it is getting organized. A lot of startups are coming up, especially for sports now. So the scenario is improving. We can still say it's developing. It's not developed. It's developing for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, it takes time. That's true. It
Absolutely.
takes time. It takes time because if you come like I'll speak like from where I am right now, at the moment in Uganda, to find a person who has the expertise that you have is kind of hard. There are very few people who have such expertise. So I know it takes time, and I know also the time goes by, there are going to be more people like you in India, because I know, is it a thing that has started or recently, it has been in the works, the
Sorry.
management, like I'm asking, like the management studies, have they been in for a long time, or they have just come in recently?
So uh, it is coming into limelight now a bit slowly. So it was there like past 5 6 years. It was there, but not a lot of people were aware about it. So like I have been in sports industry from 2018, right? It's been 6 years now. Okay. So, but even I was not aware about it. I got into coaching. Okay. The only path that I knew, if I want to work for football, at that time I wanted to work for football only. Right. So, the only path that I knew was you become a coach, and then you climb up the ladder, and that's how you can leave an impact on the industry. Right. If you cannot uh, improve the scenario or contribute for the industry by playing, right, you can contribute by making, producing lot more players who would contribute even further for the industry. But then I came across this problem that the not the players only needs to be there, but the industry as a whole needs to be developed. So you need to develop the uh, monetary part of it as well, right? So the business is very important for that. And in that part, as a lot of our teachers also told us, like in the decision making panel of the big associations, these you guys are the ones who's going to sit after 5 years or 10 years. So this is the right time you got into it. It is an unexplored sector. Get into it, learn about it, then only you would be able to make difference for your sport, for your country as a whole. So learn about it. So it goes like the saying, to change the system you have to become the system, right? So right now we are learning how to become the system, then only we would be able to change the system.
That is right. I know, there are things that are always there but are not be seen. And I know you coming, you being a part of the sports management, and you have also the knowledge of football or how everything is done in football. So, like, what happens at the grassroots for football. So, if you combine with what you've learned at school, I know you're going to make a bigger impact, inshallah.
I Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you.
So, Himanshu, am I pronouncing it right?
He
Himanshu,
Himanshu.
Himanshu. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I really appreciate you for just giving us this time, and I hope that we're going to have you again here on the podcast.
definitely.
Yeah.
You just invite me over and I'll be there.
Yeah. So before
although
we,
Although it got bit delayed because of you not being available, I not being
I
available, and all this issue, but I am happy
I
about
know
it that it happened.
I
And
know, I know. But before like we let you go, can you just like give us a last word? Like how any inspiration you want to give to the young people who want to follow your footsteps, maybe become a coach or maybe take part in sports management, what should they do?
so for that, I wouldn't say I have done a lot of things in developing the scenario. Like there are a lot of people who I follow, whose path I follow, and I would say you just if you believe in yourself, if you your goal should be clear. Although it should seem like it is unachievable, but it should be clear to you that yes, I want to achieve it. I want to make it big. Then seek out the people who are doing it, who have done it. Then reach them out. And it wouldn't be like you reach out to one person and they'll answer to you anything and everything. No, it will take a lot of time. It will take a lot of time. You would have maybe have to approach 10 or 20 or 30 people, then only you would get answer from two or three. But don't lose that opportunity. Talk to them. The sports industry work like this only. People, so I also have done the same thing. Reach out to people what you want to do or what you want to explore, and then ask them what is the problem that I can solve, how can I get started on it. They'll give you some direction, then you gotta work hard in that direction, and I'm sure about it, if you work it out and you stick to it, you would definitely achieve it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the inspiration and motivation. So, like, where can we find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Snapchat. Do you want me to mention my username?
Yeah, like your username, how people can. I know we are going to put it on the description, but just help us, just tell people who are like watching and listening where they can find you.
So the best channel to connect would be LinkedIn. I would love to answer you guys. And so you just search it out, Himanshu Manchanda, and you would get the user. So what I'll do is I'll share the link with you of my profile. Other
Yeah,
than, if you want to get connected over Instagram, that would also although be a bit informal, but I don't mind it as we work in sports industry, so it's good.
yeah.
So it's Nerd Warrior, Nerd 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 underscore Warrior
Or yeah.
WAIIOR Warrior underscore 97 Nerd Warrior 97. That's my username for Instagram.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Anush, very much. Thank you for giving us your time. Hope we catch you maybe in a week or two
Definitely.
weeks time, and we will have you back to tell us more on sports
Definitely.
management and everything and your ideas, because I know we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about the game side, the football side, because I know there is where your passion lies. So so guys, this is
Thanks.
for today. Hope I catch you on the next one. Bye. Have a good time. Hope you like, share,
Nice.
comment, and subscribe to our channel.